What's up, y'all? Your guy Ike Jones. Gonna get a quick one here, man. I ain't gonna be in here all night. Y'all go ahead and share the video, get some more people involved in here. We will do a quick reaction here for Auburn versus Baylor. Auburn goes down 88 to 82. Tough loss coming out of the gate to a very good team here in Baylor. Um, saw some good things from Auburn, saw some things that needed to get cleaned up, but want to definitely let you guys get in here and vent a little bit before we get to bed tonight. Appreciate you guys getting here. Share the video, man. Go share the video like 5 times. Right, share it like 3 different times on on every social media account, real quick. Let's see if we can run these numbers up real quick while we talk, um, and get some more folks in here. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here. I probably will not be on super long tonight, just because it's still got work I got to do and got to get up in the morning and get to it. But Auburn goes down 82 to 86. High point man for Auburn tonight is Aiden Holloway with 19 on 6 of 15 shooting, 4 of 8 from three, 3 of 5 from the free throw line. He adds 6 assists, 3 rebounds, and 1 block, oddly, to that. 6 assists, 2 turnovers, so 2-to-1 ratio, not bad, with 26 minutes played for Aiden Holloway, the true freshman, as advertised. Loved it, um, from him. Adding to that, Janai Broom, the second highest scorer there with 16 points. He was 2 of 4. Why did this just move around for me? For some reason, somebody's messing with my statistics here. Janai Broom, 4 of 10, excuse me. 2 of 3 from 3 pointers. 2 of those looked really good. That third one, 6 of 10 from the free throw line, 11 rebounds. So a double tonight for Janai Broom. 2 assists and a block shot. Ended up fouling out of the game. 25 total minutes. Guy who played the most minutes last night or tonight was Jay Will. Only 4 points for him on 2 of 6 shooting, but 6 rebounds added to that. He was the second highest rebound guy for the team. And then Denver Jones, the next guy in scoring, 13 points for Denver Jones on 4 of 10 shooting, 3 of 5 from 3-point land, including the big 3 there at the end to bring it within 2, or excuse me, within 3. 24 minutes played for him. Only 1 rebound, 2 assists, 1 steal. Anyway, so definitely want to get some reactions from you guys. As I said before this game started, there's going to be a ton of overreaction for the first game, projecting forward about who we are and what we're going to be for this season. I saw some really good things from this Auburn team tonight, and I saw some things that they definitely need to clean up. First and foremost, let's talk about the things that were not so good. And, listen, I think the biggest thing that Auburn's going to look back at this game and say, wow, we blew this, was the turnovers in the second half. Second half turnovers. I wonder if I can get a differential first and second half here from this stat breakdown. Um, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that in that way. It's a new system that I'm using here, so I apologize for not having this broken down by half. Oh, never mind. Boom, I do have it. First half. All right, let's take a look at the first half here. Turnovers in the first half by Auburn, 7. 7 turnovers in the first half. Second half turnovers by Auburn, 8. Felt worse than that, right? Like it felt like there was a lot more than 8 turnovers, but like 3 or 4 of those were coming right out the gate. And then down at the end, just a lot of sloppy play from Auburn. So felt a lot worse than 7 and 8. I'm not gonna lie to you. Just watching the game, 15 total turnovers in that game felt a lot worse. I think the biggest differential for Auburn. Let's take a look at what we forced half to half. So 11 forced turnovers for Auburn in the first half. Second half, only 4. I think that's probably why it felt a little bit worse. Is that we were turning the ball over pretty much at the same clip, but we weren't getting it back on the other end of the court. So the defense let us down a little bit. And I told you guys, this is going to be a frenetic pace. You're going to see a lot of up and down stuff from this Auburn basketball team. And we want to push the pace and get people playing frenzied. But in that frenzy, we just didn't do a great job of identifying shooters, particularly on second chance opportunities. We really did a poor job of keeping them off of the glass with second chance points. Let's see if I can get a total here on second chance points. Uh, Second chance points for Baylor, 17 second chance points in this. Let's look at second half second chance points. 11 of those coming in the second half of this game. So really, it's a big um, situation for Auburn needing to be able to clean up that offensive or the defensive glass to end possessions. I thought we did a really good job playing defensively out front, forcing them into bad shots, forcing them into late in the clock shots, but then you got to finish the possession with a rebound. And I think that was the biggest thing, needing to be able to get to those boards. And then subsequently, us not being able to secure the offensive glass for ourselves. Let's see, total in this game. Oddly enough, total rebounds, you're going to be surprised at this number, even, dead even. Uh, Baylor had 38, Auburn had 38. Offensive rebounds, Auburn had 14, Baylor had 14. Defensive rebounds, 24 and 24. It was dead even in rebounding by the end of this game. Didn't feel like that during the game, though. It did not feel like that. And it felt as if Baylor was getting theirs kind of very opportunistically in bunches. And Auburn wasn't really doing enough with theirs. I mean, there was a one possession there. I think Janai Pruitt probably got credited with 2 offensive rebounds with point blank tips right there at the rim that he wasn't able to put in. Just really some little things that need to be cleaned up. I like where this team is game 1 against the 20th ranked team in the country, though. I don't feel bad after watching this game. It's a game that you're going to go back if you're Auburn and you're going to say, we really should have won this game. But you're also going to say, this is a game that you can grow up with. I expect them to take a lot out of this game and say, man, we did a really good job in some areas, and there's some things that you can clean up. Similarly to what I talked about in the Vanderbilt game, even though it's a drastically different level of opponents, you hope to win this game and still have teachable moments. But you can have a hard fought loss and still have some really teachable moments. I'm going to be very interested to see some of the comments from Coach Pearl after this, because I'm on here with you guys. I'm not in the post game with Coach Pearl tonight, but I will try to make sure that I get some sort of reaction for us on Lobtown. So be looking out for that. Got one super chat in here. We'll grab that really quickly. Robert Guy says, worst officiating ever, stupid 1 foot rule. Yeah, I don't really like the change to the 1 foot rule as far as trying. I get they're trying to, decrease the number of collisions in the paint because it becomes an issue of, and we hear this a lot now in collegiate sports, really in sports in general, is player safety, right? You hear that a lot. But what ends up happening is guys are going into the lane and then the guys are coming really and undercutting them. So they're trying to get rid of that, clean that up in the game. But it does hurt the teams like Auburn who are really good at drawing those fouls. So we really need to get in here and figure out how to be a little bit better. I love what Chaney Johnson was able to do in there with the principle of verticality. He's got that high vertical, just going straight up in the air. So maybe we're back to the era of being able to get some true shot blockers in the game, where guys are going to have to come to the lane and figure out how to finish amongst the trees and not be so worried. This was a big issue. Listen, I know he's not on the team anymore, but man, Alan Flanagan's probably going to love this rule because my boy would go in there and charged all day because guys would do that to him. He wouldn't play off of 2 feet. KD Johnson, this is going to be a rule that benefits him. Guys have to play off of 2 feet defensively now, and he can get around them and be sneaky around the rim. It's going to be interesting to see how he's able to take advantage of this and not be so worried about him going in there taking those offensive fouls. But yeah, I don't really love the rule either. Another one from Robert Guy here says, it's hard to beat a good team and the Zebras. Listen, I didn't love the officiating in this game. The officials, in my opinion, are not the reason why Auburn lost this game, though. Getting the guys in foul trouble is definitely rough. You got Aiden Holloway playing way more minutes than I think Coach Pearl would like, right? When you're sitting here looking at the number of minutes, again, that Auburn has in distribution across here, Aiden playing 26 minutes and Trey only playing 14. I'm pretty sure that is not the distribution of minutes that he would like from his 2 point guards. Just because, not because Aiden Holloway's not talented. He's super talented. I loved everything I saw from him. I loved him on the defensive end, what he was able to do. I don't even think did he get a personal foul in this game? Had 0 personal fouls in this game, which shows a little bit about how much more aggressive and physical Trey Donaldson is. But Aiden Holloway able to play pretty mistake-free as far as getting ticky-tack fouls, and not getting like offensive fouls or anything like that. So very good game from Aiden there, but kind of Chad Baker Mazar taken out of this game with some really ticky fouls. I mean, one of them, the arm shiver, it was kind of like, oh, whatever. And then there's a couple of other ones that were really just kind of soft fouls that they were getting calling him. That takes him out of the game. And he was a guy that was seeming to kind of control the pace for a minute when he came in early. And he's a shot creator that you weren't able to really get into the game the way that you wanted to. You end up with a lot of fouls on um, who was the other guy with a bunch of fouls? Broom fouled out of the game in this one. Simo had 4 fouls on him, as well as Trey Donaldson, as already mentioned. Chad Baker Mazar with the 4 fouls, and then Dylan Cardwell with the 4 fouls. It did feel a little imbalanced at times in the way that the whistles were being called, particularly in the paint, right? I felt like there was just some times where they were allowing guys to do stuff, and then another time they wouldn't allow them to do it. So it's difficult to play the kind of defense that Bruce Pearl wants to play when guys are in foul trouble. It's difficult to go out there and play that aggressive defense that's going to be in your hip pocket when you're going to get called for a lot of fouls that are kind of right. So definitely a difficult game. I still feel like this team played really well. Let's talk about overall how they performed in a couple of metrics. And we'll probably be in here for another 10 minutes and then we'll get out of here. Let's see here. From the 3-point line, again, I told you guys don't expect another 20% game from them. Auburn shot 47% from three. How can you complain about that for a team that was shooting high 20s last year on the season, 47% from three? I'll take that all day. 9 of 19. Oddly enough, again, this was a very even game. Baylor shot 47.4, like literally 9 threes made by both teams, 9 of 19. It felt like they had bigger shots in some moments, but they hit just as many. Field goal percentage for Auburn slightly higher than Baylor, 44.4%. Baylor shot 43% from the field. Here's where you're going to see the discrepancy, though. Baylor took 34 free throws, made 27 of them, 79.4%. Auburn only went to the free throw line 25 times, making 17, 68%. There's where that's the game right there, right? That is the game right there. Baylor took 9 more free throws and made 10 more than Auburn in the game. They end up winning the game by 6. That's the difference. Like, it feels like, man, sloppy play. And we definitely could have cleaned some things up. The difference in this game is they got to the free throw line and made their free throws at a higher clip than Auburn was able to. And when you're in a game where the refs are doing what they're doing, you got to go in there trying to see if you can go get some contact in some of those situations. But I think Auburn did a good job of playing the offense that they needed to. If Auburn can clean up some of the silly turnovers, like the inbounds play that they had, the turnover where Janai gets the foul on the guy who steals it and then ducks it on the other end. Silly turnover, silly foul, right? That entire sequence right there. There's no reason that there's 3 points on the board in that scenario, right? So you should take 3 off the board from just a silly situation like that. When you go into a situation coming out of the half, you surrender a 3, then you get a 3-point play right after that from a turnover from an inbounds. Silly, right? You take 6 points off the board. Those 3 plays that I just outlined right there are the difference in this basketball game, really, right? If you just don't have the silly turnovers, then you don't have a situation where they're getting momentum, um, and they're getting kind of really quick and easy buckets in transition situations or off of turnovers, right? So, um, I love what Auburn looked like tonight, though, in a lot of ways. I love the defensive intensity out top. I love what Denver Jones was able to provide from a shot making perspective. Not a lot of um, bad shots. I didn't see a lot of shots that made me say, I didn't love the last 3 by Janai, more so for the outcome and how it looked than it being a bad shot. Aiden kind of steps up and, we're up by like 3 or 4 points at the time. And he kind of walks into a deep 3 on that one. I mean, would have taken the roof off of the place on the road. Another great opportunity to see the Auburn fan base travel really well out there to Sioux Falls. But if, if Auburn, if Aiden makes that 3-pointer, crowd erupts, bench goes crazy. I just don't think that, in that time with it being so close of a game, that was a great shot selection from the young man right there. That's something, if he makes it, you're great. You're happy with it. He misses it. You kind of look at it and be like, we didn't need that shot right there. And Other than that, I can't really think of a lot of other bad shots. So shot selection was a lot better. Shot creation, shot making a lot better in this game than we saw from the Auburn team last year. Again, against a quality opponent, we're going to obliterate some bad teams this year. We scored 82 points tonight against a Baylor team that's fairly good, right? Top 20 team. You put some teams that really can't score out there and can't get into this transition game, we're going to put up 100 points on some guys and go deep into the bench, right? Like this is a team that can really get out here and embarrass you if you're gonna play sloppy. So I think overall, a pretty good game from Auburn tonight. Another super chat here. Let me grab this one. I appreciate it from Sonina, who says, I'm excited about this team. This loss hurts after watching the guys play so hard. You're never going to feel good after watching your team lose a basketball game because you want to see them win everything. But I'm not going to. And I told you before the game, win or lose, I think that Auburn has something that I want to see from them that I can go back and say, okay, here are things that we can build on and things that I like to see. I love the effort that we gave for the entirety of this basketball game. Didn't feel like we ever really just gave up on the game. Having the lead helps with that. Hate to see them surrender the lead and just kind of get walked down in the second half. But what I do love is that they were able to answer in a lot of situations. Baylor makes a shot, Auburn comes back and makes another big shot to be able to return fire. Um, I loved KD Johnson. Let's talk about KD Johnson in this game, and what he was able to do. KD Katie Johnson. Here we go. Stat line for Katie Johnson: 16 minutes, 3 of 5 shooting. So an efficient shooting game for him. 0 of 1 from three. The one three-pointer he took didn't look great. It was short. As a problem he had last year. But I love how he was able to play defense aggressively. He did end up with 4 fouls, and I thought a couple of those were kind of calls. But aggressive defense, bringing you all the passion that you need, finishing around the rim well, and then he brought me what I needed from him the last couple of years, the mid-range game, turning down the quick three, stepping in and either going to the rim and finishing around the rim, not crazy looking for contact type of stuff, even though he did get fouled, I think, on one of the fast break joints that he got, and he didn't get the call. Same thing for a couple of other ones. Chad Baker-Mazar, I think, got fouled a couple of times going in there. Aiden Holloway, I think, got fouled on. Again, I can sit here and just detail all of the misses because they probably missed some going the opposite direction too. But I loved KD Johnson playing under control and playing good defense, even with the what seemed like under control aggressiveness after getting a foul call that he didn't like. His energy is what it is, and I like that from him. So I think a good game from KD Johnson, embracing the role, coming off of the bench and being an igniter off the bench. Like it. Super chat here from Riley, who says, I like this squad. They gotta make free throws though. Yeah, free throws. Listen, we just talked about this a minute ago. Let's go back and look at the statistics on free throws. 68% not going to get it done. You can't be a 68% free throw guy or a free throw team and expect to really win a lot of close games. Close games, Coach Pearl talks about this a lot last season. It's going to come down to who's able to get stops and make free throws. Because when you get into tight games, that's what teams are going to do. They're going to foul you, put you on the free throw line. You got to be able to get stops. You got to be able to make free throws. Free throw shooting did not look great from this team tonight. 68% is not going to get it done. Auburn held the lead for 25 minutes in this game. Hurts to say that and say that you're going to lose the game. You hold the lead for 25 total minutes. Largest lead for Auburn was 9 points in this game at the half, right? And you end up losing it by 6. Auburn 18 assists, but 15 turnovers, right? Now the differential for Baylor is 10 to 15, right? So they got Baylor lopsided, but 18 to 15 is not a good ratio. I mean, you forced a worse ratio from the other guys. They did a lot of really good individual shot making from Baylor. Let's just stop and give props. Again, I know it's hard talking about a loss here, especially in a game that you had the lead in and you surrendered it. But uh a lot of tough shot making from Baylor tonight. Like they made some tough buckets one on one. You know, They did a lot of things really well that a good basketball team is going to be able to do. So you got to give props to Baylor for just being tough out there and being gritty in the way that they made shots early in the game and then late in the game to be able to close that out, because they came out really on fire, and then late in the game their defense actually is what transitioned that into a dub for them. So 18 points off of turnovers from Baylor. Points in the paint in favor of Auburn, 34-32. But second chance points, again, that's going to be the thing that's going to haunt you. You lose that differential by 5 for 12-17 there for Baylor. And then the disparity in fouls, 32 fouls on Auburn, 22 on Baylor. A difference in 10 is pretty huge there. Um, so yeah, overall, again, I think this is a good game for Auburn out the gate. Not great. You only get to great if you win the basketball game, but a lot to be able to work with here. Another super chat here from Jamal Pyle, who says Janai single-handedly lost this game, airballing free throws and lazy, just like in the tournament. Not sure that I can go with single-handedly losing the game there for Janai. There's a lot of people that I think did things that put us in position to not win this game. I don't think that Broom had a great game by any means, but I won't say he single-handedly lost the game from missing free throws and being lazy. He had some, let's look at his stat line again. Janai Broom on the night, uh, 16 points, 11 rebounds, 5 of those offensive rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. I don't think that that's necessarily lazy, lost the game. Again, I don't think he had a stellar night, but I think that's a little heavy-handed for me, Jamal. But I get it. This is where you expect people to react very heavily, especially in a close game. Um, Gotta love Dylan Cardwell in here with 5 blocks in the game, though. This is the Dylan Cardwell I want to see for the vast majority of the year. A rim protector out there able to make sure that they have to earn those buckets. I don't even listen, man. Somebody got to explain to me this what they were looking at with this goaltending situation, because I'm hearing them try to explain it on the broadcast, and I'm like, how is this a thing if he already blocked the shot to the backboard, right? Not tipped the ball into the air, blocked it to the backboard. The reason it gets to the backboard is because Simo hits it to the backboard. Any other touch after that should not even, why are we even debating whether or not this is a goaltend? I don't understand. They're like, oh, but it was above the square. So like, what are you talking about? When did that become a thing? When did that become a thing? Somebody go find the rule for me in the rule book and tell me why that makes sense. I did not understand. I didn't. They took so long explaining this and debating it, and I was just like, "Yo, it's clear Simo blocked this to the backboard. What are we talking about? When did that become a thing in basketball? Somebody got to explain to me." Anyway, um, I heard him say by rule. When did that become a rule is my question. When did it become a rule that if I block the ball to the backboard, that nobody else can touch it if once it touches the backboard, it's above the when did that become a thing? I don't understand that. I'm not gonna spend too much time on that. I don't Somebody just find the rule for me, because I'm not about to Google it tonight. I told you I still got stuff I gotta do tonight. I'm actually gonna get out of here in about 10 minutes. Somebody find the rule and send it to me on Twitter so I can understand why they took 5 minutes debating and were serious about it. I didn't understand it. I'm chilling. I didn't get it. I just want somebody to explain it to me. All right. But anyway, like I said, overall, I think good game from all. Chad Baker Mazar, I like the minutes that he gave Auburn. The fouls again, sometimes a little too aggressive in some situations, but I liked him defensively, paying the passing lane. Right. I liked what he was able to do, getting downhill and finishing at the rim. Kind of medium range shot looked good from him. He's only 2 of 4, only took 4 shots, but I liked what I saw from him out there. 3 of 3 from the free throw line. You got to love a guy who can step up and knock down his free throws. So definitely some good minutes from Chad. He was taken out of the game, I think, from a foul situation. If he was able to play more minutes, I think Auburn would have benefited from that. But yeah, overall, again, I feel like it was a good game from Auburn. Um, and I feel as if there's a lot of things that you can grow from here. Friday night, who does Auburn play in the next game on Friday night? Because that team is probably about to get absolutely ran through. Um, let's see. I don't have it on here. Somebody look it up for me. Who we play on Friday night? Southern Louisiana. Is that where? Is that who we play? Um, that we might run them out the gym. So, all right. Anyway, that's it, man. I appreciate you guys for jumping in here with me, getting some quick reactions. That's probably going to be Twitter Spaces and all kinds of stuff happening tonight. I shall not be participating in that. I still got work I got to do to get you guys ready for the drop tomorrow. Southeastern Louisiana. Thank you very much, Corey, for that. But yeah, we're going to be back on tomorrow morning with the morning drop, talking a little bit more about Auburn versus Vanderbilt again. And then we have the midweek report coming tomorrow night. But appreciate you guys jumping in here with me. Like the video before you get out of here. Subscribe to the channel. Share it with somebody. Get some more comments if you're watching this later down in the comment section. Appreciate y'all so much. Until the next time, and as always, War Eagle. Peace.